This is the summer signing that Manchester United fans have been desperately waiting for, and it's closer than anyone thinks. While the media focuses on endless speculation and wild rumours, the Red Devils are quietly working behind the scenes to secure a deal that could transform their midfield for years to come. We're talking about Bruno Guimaraes, the Newcastle United captain, who has emerged as United's #1 target in what Reuters describes as advanced talks worth €80 million. And here's the kicker. This isn't just another transfer rumour floating around social media. Multiple sources are confirming that negotiations have progressed far beyond the usual preliminary discussions that characterise most transfer stories. The timing couldn't be more perfect for Manchester United. Newcastle's devastating Champions League elimination at the hands of Barcelona, a crushing 7-2 defeat at Camp Nou, has fundamentally shifted the dynamics of this potential transfer. That humiliating exit has opened the door for Guimaraes to consider his future, and United are perfectly positioned to capitalise. Let's step back and understand why this particular signing represents such a seismic shift in United's transfer strategy. Under Michael Carrick's interim management, the Red Devils have been nothing short of sensational. Nobody has ever gained more than the 23 points that Carrick has amassed in his opening 9 games in charge. The man is literally rewriting the record books at Old Trafford, matching only Ange Postecoglou's incredible start at Tottenham. This remarkable turnaround has put United firmly in the race for Champions League qualification. They're currently sitting in 3rd place with 54 points from 30 matches, and that European pedigree is crucial for attracting top-tier talent like Guimaraes. The Brazilian midfielder isn't just looking for any move. He wants Champions League football, and United are now in a position to offer exactly that. The situation represents everything that's been missing from United's midfield since the glory days of Paul Scholes and Michael Carrick himself. At 26 years old, the Newcastle captain has established himself as one of the Premier League's most complete central midfielders. Since arriving from Lyon in January 2022 for around £40 million, he's made 189 appearances, contributing 31 goals while earning the captain's armband at St James's Park. Here's where it gets really interesting. Casemiro, who's already confirmed his departure at the end of the current season, has personally recommended Guimaraes to United's hierarchy. The Brazilian veteran has specifically praised his compatriot for his experience and leadership, exactly the qualities United need as they rebuild their midfield foundation. This endorsement carries significant weight. Casemiro knows what it takes to succeed at the highest level, having won everything there is to win at Real Madrid. For him to specifically recommend Guimaraes tells you everything about the Newcastle star's quality and mentality. It's not just about technical ability, though Guimaraes has that in abundance. It's about having the character to thrive under the intense pressure that comes with wearing the United shirt. The financial aspects of this deal are particularly fascinating when you dig into the details. United still owe £422 million in outstanding transfer payments, with £238 million of that due by the end of next season. On paper, that sounds like a nightmare scenario for any major signings. But here's the reality. Ineos and the club's hierarchy have earmarked £200 million for the summer transfer window, contingent on securing Champions League qualification. With Carrick's incredible run making that qualification increasingly likely, United suddenly find themselves with significant spending power. The Guimaraes deal at €80 million fits perfectly within their budget while leaving room for additional signings in other positions. United aren't putting all their eggs in one basket, though. The club has identified multiple midfield targets as part of their comprehensive rebuild strategy. Sandro Tonali, Newcastle's Italian international, is also high on their list with a valuation of €100 million. According to journalist Christopher Michael, United are seriously working on a move for Tonali, who is quite open to a move to Manchester after being followed by the Red Devils for a long time. This creates a fascinating dynamic at Newcastle, where both Guimaraes and Tonali are reportedly aware that if one leaves, the other won't. As journalist Ben Jacobs revealed, both players are trying to get a potential move in place before the other does. It's like a high-stakes game of musical chairs, with United positioned to secure whichever player becomes available first. United's planning extends beyond these marquee signings. Crystal Palace's Adam Wharton has emerged as another serious target, with sources indicating he possesses a gentleman's agreement with the Eagles to leave Selhurst Park if a £60 to £65 million offer arrives from a Champions League club. At just 20 years old, Wharton represents the perfect blend of immediate impact and long-term potential. Then there's Carlos Baleba at Brighton, whose valuation has dropped from £100 million to £73 million. United are reportedly holding fresh talks over a potential summer move as they look to accelerate a transfer. The club expects to sign at least 2 midfielders, with a third addition possible flexible depending on outgoings. What makes the Guimaraes situation particularly compelling is how it addresses United's most glaring weakness. Gary Neville, speaking as both a club legend and astute football analyst, identified the core problem. Casemiro is leaving, and Manuel Ugarte will likely leave too. They need two really good central midfield players, probably one that's more positional, like a Michael Carrick type, and one that's more of a destroyer. Guimaraes perfectly fits the profile of that complete midfielder, someone who can dictate tempo like Carrick, while also providing the defensive solidity that United have missed. His performances for Newcastle have consistently demonstrated his ability to control games at the highest level, something that's been painfully absent from United's midfield for years. The timing of Newcastle's Champions League elimination cannot be overstated. That Barcelona humiliation wasn't just a heavy defeat, it was a reality check for the Magpies project. Despite significant investment and Eddie Howe's excellent management, Newcastle still feel several players short of genuinely competing with Europe's elite. For a player of Guimaraes' ambition and quality, that gap might be too significant to ignore. United, meanwhile, are showing clear signs of progress under Carrick's leadership. The Manchester Derby victory over City was particularly significant, demonstrating that this squad has the quality to compete when properly motivated and organised. That win, combined with the crucial victory over Crystal Palace to secure third place, has created genuine momentum heading into the final stretch of the season. The contrast with Ruben Amorim's tenure couldn't be starker. The Portuguese coach won only 24 of his 63 games in charge, a 38.1% success rate that was the worst of any United manager since Sir Alex Ferguson's retirement. His average of 1.23 points per game was historically poor, and his rigid insistence on the 3-4-3 system ultimately led to his downfall. Carrick's approach has been completely different. His tactical flexibility, combined with his deep understanding of the club's culture and expectations, has transformed the team's performances. Players are responding to his leadership in ways they simply didn't under previous managers, creating the perfect environment for attracting world-class talent like Guimaraes. The Brazilian's potential arrival would also address another critical issue: leadership on the pitch. Harry Maguire's struggles have been well documented, and while he remains club captain, there's no denying that United lack natural leaders in the middle of the park. Guimaraes' captaincy at Newcastle demonstrates his ability to take responsibility and drive standards, exactly what United need during their rebuilding phase. His technical profile is equally impressive. Standing at 6'2", Guimaraes combines excellent ball-carrying ability with superb passing range and surprising goal threat from midfield. Those 31 goals in 189 appearances represent a fantastic return for a central midfielder, particularly one who takes defensive responsibilities seriously. The competition from Real Madrid adds an extra layer of intrigue to this saga. Carlo Ancelotti, who coaches Guimaraes with the Brazilian national team, has reportedly backed a move for his former club. Madrid's interest isn't surprising, given their aging midfield and Ancelotti's first-hand knowledge of the player's quality. However, United's advantage lies in their immediate need and willingness to make Guimaraes a central figure in their project. At Real Madrid, Guimaraes would be competing with established stars like Jude Bellingham, Aurelien Tchouameni, and Eduardo Camavinga for playing time. At United, he would immediately become the focal point of the midfield, with the entire tactical system built around maximising his strengths. For a player entering his prime years, that opportunity to be the main man could prove decisive. United's recruitment strategy under Ineos has shown clear signs of improvement compared to previous regimes. The successful signings of Matheus Cunha for £62.5 million and Brian Mbeumo for £71 million demonstrate their ability to identify and secure top talent. Both players have made immediate impacts, suggesting that the club's scouting and negotiation processes are finally functioning effectively. The Guimaraes deal would represent another step forward in this evolution. Rather than panic buying expensive imports with questionable Premier League credentials, United are targeting a proven performer who already understands the demands of English football. His successful adaptation to Newcastle's style and the pressure of captaining an ambitious club proves his his mental strength and tactical intelligence. Looking ahead to the summer window, United's plans extend beyond just midfield reinforcements. Sources have indicated they're targeting 4 key signings, with particular focus on midfield, defense, and goalkeeping depth. The potential addition of a backup goalkeeper makes sense given ongoing questions about Andre Onana's consistency, while defensive reinforcements would provide Carrick with greater tactical flexibility. The club's financial position, while challenging, isn't as restrictive as some reports suggest. Ineos's backing provides stability and ambition that was missing under the Glazers' sole ownership. Their willingness to invest £200 million in the summer window, contingent on Champions League qualification, demonstrates genuine commitment to returning United to the elite level. That Champions League qualification is looking increasingly realistic under Carrick's management. The team's current trajectory, combined with their remaining fixtures, puts them in prime position to secure that crucial 4th spot. Such qualification would not only unlock additional transfer funds, but also make United a more attractive proposition for top players like Guimaraes, who prioritise European competition. Signing Guimaraes would create ripple effects that extend far beyond just improving the starting 11. His arrival would signal United's serious intent to compete at the highest level, potentially attracting other world-class players who might otherwise hesitate to join the project. Sometimes one marquee signing can trigger a domino effect that transforms an entire squad's mentality and ambition. For United fans who've endured years of disappointment and false dawns, the Guimaraes deal represents something different. This isn't a panic signing or a desperate attempt to appease supporters. It's a calculated move to address a specific weakness with a player perfectly suited to the role. The fact that negotiations have progressed to this advanced stage, despite United's recent instability, speaks volumes about both the player's interest and the club's improved recruitment approach. The summer of 2026 could prove to be the turning point that United supporters have been desperately waiting for. With Carrick potentially securing the permanent manager's role, Champions League qualification within reach, and a clear transfer strategy taking shape, all the pieces are falling into place for a genuine revival. Bruno Guimaraes signing for Manchester United isn't just closer than anyone thinks. It's the catalyst that could transform everything. And for a fan base that's endured more than a decade of mediocrity, that prospect alone makes this summer impossible to ignore.